Welcome. If you're an educator, you know we spend so much time creating tests, but are they actually working? In this explainer, we're going to walk through how to build a better test, one that doesn't just give a grade, but really shows us what our students know.
So let's be honest. This is a question we've all asked ourselves, right? You hand back a test and the scores, they just don't make sense. They don't match what you've been seeing in class. Well, a lot of the time, the problem isn't the student, it's the test itself. A confusing question or even just a messy page can totally hide what a student has actually learned.
And that's why this is so important. A well-designed test is way more than just a grade. It's a tool for fairness, making sure every student gets a fair shot. It actually boosts their confidence when they can see exactly what's being asked of them. And for us, it gives us much, much better data to work with. So, where do we start? Well, it all boils down to one simple, fundamental idea: clarity. The entire foundation of a good test is built on being crystal clear. I mean, this quote really says it all, doesn't it? When a test is clear, students can just focus on showing what they know, instead of trying to figure out our weirdly phrased instructions. It lowers their anxiety, it saves time, and it makes sure we're actually testing their knowledge, not just their ability to guess what we meant. Okay, so let's get into how we actually build this thing. I want you to think of it like an architect's blueprint. Before you even think about writing a single question, you need a solid structure. So let's talk about the basic layout and formatting that make a test look and feel professional from the get-go. You know what's wild is how simple these things are, but how often we might just forget one. A proper cover page needs all these details: the subject, the school, the total time, and marks. It sets the stage, right? It gives the student all the essential info up front, so there are no surprises. And the tiny details of that blueprint really, really matter. Simple choices, like using a clean font like Arial, size 12 with 1.5 line spacing, make a huge difference. And this isn't just about looking neat, it's about reducing what they call cognitive load. Basically, it helps students focus on the questions, not on trying to read the page. This little table here is a brilliant summary of the key rules for a clean layout. See that? A slightly bigger font for the cover page, putting instructions right at the beginning, page numbers on every single page. These little things add up to a professional, organized test that helps students feel more confident and less overwhelmed. All right, our blueprint is ready. Now let's get to the real heart of it: designing smarter questions. This is where we go beyond just asking students to remember stuff and start to see if they can actually think critically. And our best friend for this is Bloom's taxonomy. You've probably seen this pyramid before. It's an amazing framework that helps us classify different thinking skills. You got the basics, like remembering facts, at the bottom, and it goes all the way up to analyzing, evaluating, and creating at the top. A really great test hits multiple levels here. So what does that actually look like? Well, here's a pretty good recipe for cognitive balance. About 40% of your test should be those lower order skills: recalling facts, showing you understand. The biggest piece of the pie, 45%, should be about applying that knowledge. And then that crucial 15% should really push them to those higher order skills like analysis. And hey, the order of your questions makes a huge difference too. Always, always start a test or a new section with the easier, lower order questions. It's like a warm-up, it builds confidence, it calms those nerves, and it gets them ready to tackle the tougher stuff later on. Need some quick pro tips for multiple choice? Here you go. Try to stick to 4 options max, and please avoid confusing phrases like "which of the following is not." They trip everyone up. But here's the most important part: your wrong answers, the distractors, they have to be believable. When the wrong choices seem plausible, you're really testing for understanding, not just for good guessing. And for matching questions, this little chart is your best friend. Keep it simple: phrases in one column, single words in the other. And here's the pro move: always have one extra option in column B. That little trick prevents students from just using process of elimination to get that last one right. It's a game changer. You know, even a tiny change in how you phrase a question can have a huge effect. Asking a student to define the term instead of just "what is," it sends a signal. It tells them you're looking for a more precise academic answer. It subtly raises the bar. Okay, we've got our blueprint, we've written some really smart questions. The last step is to add those finishing touches. These are the little details that can take a test from just good to truly great. Visuals are a big one, and just look at the difference here. On the right, you've got a clean, clear, redrawn diagram. It's a tool for understanding. On the left, a blurry copy-paste job that just causes confusion. We always want to aim for the one on the right. So for any visual you use, whether it's a diagram or a table, the number one goal is clarity. Taking the time to redraw a complicated image or properly format a table isn't just about making it look pretty. It's about making it functional so that it actually helps students understand.
So, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. A great test isn't just a bunch of questions we throw together, it's a carefully designed instrument. Every single part of it, from the font on the cover page to the wording of the very last question, should be chosen with purpose and with care for the student.
And as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question to think about. After going through all this, what's one small, simple change you're going to make to your very next test? Maybe it's just reformatting the cover page, or checking that cognitive balance, or redrawing one blurry diagram. Every little improvement really does make a huge difference. Thanks for tuning in.